Hey, welcome on back to another edition of Stacks of Wax, Volume 4. Back again to show my record collection alphabetically A to Z, front to back, through and through. Last time was a little bit more of a catch-up episode. This time we're going to be fully just going in, starting with the F's, and going from there. To kick things off, we have two records from Father John Misty. We have his Live at Third Man Records and his 2017 release, Pure Comedy. Both of these are on standard black vinyl. Both are standard editions of each. His Live at Third Man Records, actually this whole series in general, I have a couple more of these records that we'll get to eventually, but these Live at Third Mans are really well done, great recorded on acetate, sounds really good. A lot of these are off of his earlier work. You got I'm Writing a Novel, So I'm Growing Old on Magic Mountain, Every Man Needs a Companion. Just some great tracks. These are typically extremely cheap, usually like 12 to 14 bucks at any given record store. So definitely worth checking, maybe not this record out itself if you're not a Father John Misty fan, but definitely checking out the Live at Third Man Records series, because they sure do have a lot of artists that have come through. And of course, his 2017 release, Pure Comedy. Definitely my favorite of his records, although his latest one was also very good too. Nice gatefold here. Let's see if we can open it up. Some cool little wacky designs in there. Great artwork, great packaging. Each of the records, like I said, on black. Little lyric sheets on them. And yeah, that's about it for this one. I know there is a limited edition version where you can actually swap out the colors on here, whether it be like the orange here, blue, a red, and a yellow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, anyway, Father John Misty. If you've never heard of him, great folk rock. Worth checking out. Especially in this modern day with folk rock. He's one of the better ones. And we've got a record that a lot of you definitely don't know about, and it's A-OK. The Philadelphia's own Fight Amp, Birth Control. This came out in 2012. That was correct. And yeah, really, really good noise rock. Just single-sided. Actually, it might even be considered an EP. Cool gatefold here with all the songs and their lyrics all written out there. Yeah, Fight Amp's freaking awesome. If you like that kind of noise rock stuff, these guys kill it. Especially on this record, one of my favorite by them. Standard black, nothing crazy. Normal stuff, from a smaller DIY project, so can't expect the full packaging like a guy like Father John Misty would be able to get with these giant record deals and stuff like that. Although, for being a smaller band, they definitely put a lot of care into what they do over here. I like the gatefold despite it only being a single LP. Up next, one of the first records that I ever bought, way back in the day. I know that this record gets a lot of slack. I know a lot of people don't like this record. I know that it's generally considered to be one of their worst. But to me, it holds a special place in my heart. It'll be Foo Fighters' Sonic Highways. This record, I understand where people are coming from when they say that it isn't their best, and, I can understand it. But to me, the documentary that went along with this album on HBO, 8-episode series, each track is recorded in a different city, and they did a hour-long documentary in each city to talk about the rich music history that comes from there, and also kind of explain the lyrics that are behind each of these tracks. And that, really inspired me, to say the least. That's the reason that I'm here right now doing what I'm doing. This sparked my interest in music in a way that I'd never known that I would even have. So I credit a lot of what I love currently to this, even if this was just kind of a basic standing block, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I like this record. I still jam to it. A couple of my friends still really like this record and will listen to it. Cool little thing going on here. Just standard black pressing. I know a lot of the different variations of this record have different locations on this cityscape type cover here. A little more zoomed in, you might just get this right here, or the buildings back here to symbolize each city. You know, sonic highways, we're all connected. That hippie crap, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might not like this record, but I personally really enjoy it. So, Foo Fighters. Up next is a record that I've already covered on Forever Spinning, and that would be Frank Ocean's Channel Orange. Obviously not an official pressing because there is no official pressing for this record. Frank, why you gotta do it to us? You either put a record out and have a limited edition like Blonde where it's selling for like $500 on Discogs, or same thing goes with Endless. Yeah, dude, just press your records. Come on, man. You know how many fans you got. You know how many people will pick this stuff up. Doesn't even need to be anything crazy. It just needs to sound better than this. For bootleg, gotta admit it's one of the weaker sounding bootlegs. Maybe I'm just overly critical of it. Comes on clear vinyl here. Double LP. Obviously, real no care in the packaging because it's not an official release. It's simply the records. Stuffed into the sleeve. Tracks on the back. So, Frank, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, but if you're watching it, please, for the love of God, please press your records. Please. We want it. Give you all of our money. 2019 release here, the second from this duo, have always put out solid projects together. The Freddie Gibbs and Madlib's Bandana. This record is great. Really, really great stuff. Pinata is another fantastic one. I would love to get on one of the limited pressings of it, but they're kind of expensive. So for the time being, I am completely content with just owning Bandana and streaming Pinata. Standard black pressing. Nothing crazy about this one. I know there are color variants for it. Newberry did one. I believe On Me Please did one. But I wasn't going to dish out all that money. So, standard black pressing. Sounds great. Great record. One of the best of this year so far. Easily. Yeah, go give this album a listen to if you like great sampling hip-hop. This is it. Moving more into the punk side of things, we have Fugazi's Repeater. This is a repress of this album. This is from all the guys from Minor Threat, DC hardcore straight edge dudes, a little more post-punk in this record. Personally, I don't like Fugazi that much. I really don't. But Repeater is an amazing album, and there's no denying that. Can't really get into much of their other stuff. I prefer Minor Threat over Fugazi any day of the week. But you know, Discord Records, they always cheaply pack their stuff. Usually their records are very cheap. They make it accessible to as many people as possible. So for that, Ian McHale, I'll give you credit for it, buddy. Despite you ruining Minor Threat, we're not going to get into that. But not a bad record. Really isn't. Go check it out. Now we got two mammoths of records here. And this would be the post-rock outfit, Godspeed You Black Emperor. We have got Alleluia, Don't Bend, Ascend, and Lift Your Skinny Fists Like Antennas to Heaven. Two of their best releases in my opinion. I'm still trying to get Luciferian Towers and whatever their first record is. I know I can read it in my head. It's like A sharp, B sharp, Infinity or whatever it is. Fantastic post-rock. I mean, one of the most sound through-and-through post-rock groups to ever go about it. You know, in the likes of Explosions in the Sky, it's just, this is to a much grander scale. This, I mean, what, there's 18 people in the group or something like that? Or they perform up to 18 people at once? It's insane. I would love to see them live. I've not gotten the chance to. But, Lift Your Skinny Fist here. Cool feeling record. It's like cardboard, but kind of adds to the aesthetic of it. I like it. Shows you the map on the inside of the different moods that are experienced throughout the record. Again, post-rock, instrumental, so no lyrics per se. There are audio field recording clippings in here, but that's kind of it. So this is kind of your guide throughout the record. Pretty cool. I like that idea a lot, especially for a post-rock record. Get these awesome signs on here, man. They just look really, really good. Really well packaged. Standard black. Not complaining though. Same thing here. Dude getting his hands cut off. Pretty darn cool. Looks awesome. And then of course, Don't Bend Ascend. It's 2012? 2012, I think. I always forget what their records go in order-wise. Gatefold. Cool images in there. Standard black. Nothing crazy again. Shows off how each song kind of moves forward. Some information on the back. But the cool thing about this record that I enjoy a lot, and like I said before, this is something that I will be covering in a separate video/video series when I get around to it. This record wants to go in the sleeve. It's that this record comes with, where is it? Come on out. It's in here. Stuck in there. It's a 7-inch. It's a 7-inch of 2 of their tracks, much shorter in comparison to some of their other stuff. I mean, they can go on upwards of 20 minutes. Some of Godspeed You Black Emperor's stuff. Yeah, little black 7-inch in here. I forget which is on this one. It doesn't say it on it. But yeah, fantastic record. Some of the best post-rock. If you're just looking for music to like study to, this is it. I mean, you know, I guess you could do lo-fi hip-hop beats on YouTube. That works too. But if you want some really just well-constructed, well-produced, and well-executed music, it's Godspeed You Black Emperor. And to round things out here, actually, before I get into that, before I round this out, I have a Flying Lotus record that should be in here. I don't know where it is. I think I loaned it out to somebody and I just didn't remember, but I'll bring that back up on a later episode when I get it back or find it or whatever. But yeah, to round things out today, it's Grateful Dead's American Beauty. You've all probably seen this video that I've done on this before for Forever Spinning. Obviously one of the most influential and biggest Americana records to ever come out. Some of the best Grateful Dead tracks on here. And again, I'm not a huge Deadhead, so people are probably, oh, this is their mainstream stuff. Oh, this, and that. This live recording on October 12th of, 1986 is better. I'm not that deep into the Grateful Dead well. I like them a lot. I like their music. I like a lot of their records, and I love their live stuff, but I don't know it like that. So for me, American Beauty is quintessential. I don't care that it's mainstream. I love this album. Got Box of Rain, Friend of the Devil, Candyman, Ripple, Truckin'. Through and through, one of the best Americana records to ever come out. You've probably heard it, and if you haven't, you're missing out big time. Standard black pressing. Yeah. So that about does it for this episode of Stacks of Wax. I'll be moving forward in this series every other week, going through the records that I have in my collection, and why don't you share some of them that are in your collection in the comments below. Just let me know if you have some of these, maybe you have some cool variants of them, maybe some limited pressings, because most of these are all just represses, to be fair. I'm not big on prioritizing getting an original pressing unless it's a record that I truly deep down inside of me feel like I need to get. More or less, I just like being able to spin it on wax. So that's kind of where I stand on things. So anyway, thank you for watching. Continue to watch my videos, I guess. Not a demand, just kind of a request. And yeah, thanks again. I will see you next time. Peace!